Hello and welcome. I have made a channel on Telegram. The link is given here. The link is given here t.me /grgipb95. You can type this link on Google and go to the channel on Telegram. You can subscribe it as well for the PDF and other things that I post on this channel. PDF of this YouTube video. I make PDFs and I file it on this channel. You can subscribe that channel as well. One more thing I have added to the color code. I have used gray color for pronouns which are in this passage. So, the topic today is judicial indiscipline. Now, judicial refers to the judiciary. Judiciary is in three layers in India. The lowest being civil courts, district courts, which you will find in every district, and then there is high court. High courts are located on only one high court is located in each state, and then there is Supreme Court. See, high courts and Supreme Courts are places where you cannot go directly for the trifles. Trifles like suppose you have a theft in your house or you have a land dispute, you cannot go to High Court or Supreme Court for that directly. You can go after visiting civil courts first or district courts first, and if you are not satisfied from their judgments, you can make an appeal over there, the High Court first, and then to the apex court or Supreme Court. What are the matters which can be directly pleaded over there in High Court and Supreme Court? Well, the matters related to constitution, such as say some wrongdoing of government or some wrong policy of the government, or something related to the constitutional violation usually by the government. You can go on these issues. You can take these issues directly to High Court or Supreme Court. So, judicial indiscipline. Some indiscipline is there, which is being described in this passage. Let us see the subtopic. What it says: Rajasthan High Court has disregarded law laid down by Supreme Court while admitting plea by pilot camp. So, the High Court, Rajasthan High Court, admitted the plea of pilot camp, and this is something in disregard to the laws set by the Supreme Court. This is the indiscipline. This is the indiscipline that Rajasthan High Court has not followed the instruction, the law laid down by the Supreme Court. What is that in totality? Let us see in the passage. The Rajasthan High Court's order directing that status quo be maintained in the disqualification proceedings against 16 legislators and holding a legal challenge to the Rajasthan Assembly Speaker's notice under the anti-defection law to be maintainable borders on judicial indiscipline. So, this is a long sentence. We should split it and then read it accordingly. The Rajasthan High Court's order. The Rajasthan, let us look like this. The Rajasthan High Court's order. Okay, recolor it. recolor it blue so that there is no confusion. This was also blue, not to be confused. The Rajasthan High Court's order borders on judicial indiscipline. This is the main sentence. What is in yellow is the main sentence. The Rajasthan High Court's order borders on judicial indiscipline. Now, what the rest of sentence is saying, the Rajasthan High Court's order. What was the order? The order was that status quo be maintained. There should be status quo on some issues. What were the issues? The issue refers to disqualification proceedings against 19 legislators. This is the issue where status quo be maintained. They should not be disqualified, and holding a legal challenge. What is the challenge? Challenge to the Rajasthan Assembly Speaker's notice under anti-defection law to be maintainable. Now, these are the two things which High Court has ordered, and the sentence says that this order is on the edge of judicial indiscipline. The court has gone ahead of its limits, judicial limits, and while doing so, it has disobeyed the Supreme Court, the law led by the Supreme Court. This is the issue, and this is how we split the sentence with the help of main verb. Borders means the edge, the limit. The order does not give any reason for admitting the petition and overruling objections to its admissibility, except for saying legal questions have arisen, including one on the validity of a subclause in the 10th schedule. So it is speaking it is speaking about the 10th schedule of the Constitution. The order does not give any reason. It didn't quote any reason for admitting the petition and overruling objections to its admissibility. It neither overruled objections. There were objections to admissibility by the opposite party, and there were no explanations given as to why those objections do not apply, except for saying legal questions have arisen. High Court says that there is legal question, so they have come. Well, I will admit the case. No, they should not go. Including one on the validity of a subclause in the 10th schedule. See, it has also did not consider the validity of a subclause in the 10th schedule. This is what the sentence says. So what did the High Court do? High Court did not give any reasons to admit the case. It did not overrule objections as well. And rather than for overruling the objections, it only said that the legal questions have arisen. And it did not look into the provisions of subclause of 10th schedule as well. So these are three issues quoted in this sentence. It is as if the mere fact that some questions have arisen is enough to disregard the doctrine of precedent. Now, this doctrine of precedent, all high courts follow the law laid by Supreme Court. This is the doctrine of precedent, and this court has not considered it and acted in disregard to this doctrine. So this is something which speaks of indiscipline. There is a specific prohibition in a constitution bench verdict of the Supreme Court on courts intervening in disqualification matters. Courts intervening in disqualification matters. What does it say? It says that there is a specific prohibition. Prohibition means the courts, whether it be Supreme Court or a High Court, should not intervene in matters related to disqualification of legislators, disqualification of MLAs. Now, why are they disqualified? They are disqualified in view of the anti-defection law, which was over here. Anti-defection law. Yeah, it was quoted over here. Anti-defection law. See, if a party has 100 members in an assembly, and 2 of them wish to leave the party, they cannot do so. This anti-defection law will apply, and they will lose their membership of the assembly. This is what the law says, and in that matter, the High Court cannot intervene. Only the Speaker can decide it. So here, in this case, the High Court has done something in disregard to the law laid by the Supreme Court. So there is a specific prohibition in constitutional bench verdict of the Supreme Court on courts intervening in disqualification matters at a stage prior to presiding officer giving the ruling. Now, the Speaker is the presiding officer in assembly. Presiding officer has not given any verdict, and the Supreme Court or the High Court has intervened. This is against the law, and this is indiscipline. Of the 13 questions, there were 13 questions. The division bench has framed. The aggrieved party has gone to the Supreme Court and has framed 13 questions purporting to arise from Speaker C.P. Joshi's notices to 19 Congress members in the Sachin pilot camp. So the division bench refers to a special court where 2 or 3 judges sit together to decide a case. That bench is called division bench. So the division bench has purporting to rise from Speaker C.P. Joshi's notice to 19 Congress members in Sachin pilot camp. The last one itself shows it cannot entertain petition. So there are 13 questions, and the last one says that the High Court cannot entertain the petition. It refers to High Court because the petitions were High Court had admitted the case, so it refers to the High Court. It refers to the place which cannot entertain the petition, and that is High Court. The last one itself refers to the last one of these 13 questions. There were 13 questions. The last one refers to itself. So let us go ahead. The question is whether the Supreme Court's judgment in Quijote Holohan 1992 is a bar on High Court examining the issue. Is a bar means something which bar you can take the sense of debar. It is a debar on the High Court examining the issue. High Court cannot examine that issue. Issues similar to Quijote Holohan 1992. It is something set as a law by the Supreme Court. It is illogical that the bench holds that the petition is maintainable even while proposing to examine whether a constitution bench judgment binds it or not. So, this is something serious. It says that the above decision prohibiting a high court from such cases was there, existed, but still the Rajasthan High Court, what did it do? It said that it does not bind the High Court or restrain the High Court from taking up such cases. It says that it is illogical, it is not logical that the bench holds that the petition is maintainable. What is maintainable? And what is they have a special meaning? What are the special meanings? The bench accepts the petition, this is holds, and is maintainable. Maintainable means the case qualifies to be heard in the High Court directly. Maintainability stands for that meaning. Even while proposing to examine whether a constitution bench judgment binds it or not. And it is also ready to examine an issue. What is the issue? The issue whether constitutional bench judgment binds it, prohibits it or not, which was raised in the last of the questions out of 13 questions. So, in other words, a petition has been declared maintainable on the ground that the court proposes to examine its maintainability. So it says that on the purpose to examine it, whether the case is maintainable in High Court, the court has admitted the case, the petition has been accepted. And the 1992 judgment, while upholding the validity of the 10th schedule to the Constitution, the anti-defection law also declared that in Para 2, so what is there in Para 2? A part of which is now under challenge and is the ostensible reason the High Court to entertain the petition. It says that even if a part is under challenge and is apparent reason for the High Court to entertain the petition, it cannot do so. This is what it says. And the 1992 judgment, while upholding validity of 10th schedule to the Constitution, it held it correct and something to be followed by all the parties. The anti-defection law also declared that Para 2, a part of which now under challenge and is the apparent reason for the High Court to entertain the petition, apparent reason that High Court should entertain the petitions related to 10th schedule, does not violate the freedom of speech. It does not violate the freedom of speech, vote or conscience of elected members. This is what it says over here. Yet the High Court is now venturing to find out whether Para 2(1)(a), which deals with disqualifying lawmakers who voluntarily gave up membership of their party, has been examined by Apex Court from the point of view of intra-party democracy, within the party democracy. Intra means within the party. Democracy within the party. Within the party, they elect their chiefs and all, and that is also done in democratic way. So, the High Court is now venturing is looking to find out whether Para 21A, which deals with disqualifying lawmakers, who are the lawmakers? The legislatures, the MLAs for the state, MPs for the center, who voluntarily give up membership. So those lawmakers who give up their membership of their party, not the membership of the parliament or assembly, but of their own party, has been examined by the apex court from the point of view of intra-party democracy. So this is what the message that comes out from this sentence. The apex court, the Supreme Court, has also looked into intra-party democracy. Even if the members voluntarily give up membership, if at all the provisions validity is to be tested, it can only be done in a case arising out of it. Yeah, it is an obvious conclusion that if at all provisions validity is to be tested, is to be examined, it can be done through the case arising out of it. When no decision has been rendered by the speaker, it is beyond comprehension how court entertained arguments on the issuance of notice on and on whether dissidents can be disqualified for questioning the party line. So, this is the issue. See, the speaker is yet to take a decision on the issue whether the members are to be disqualified or to be retained. It is beyond understandability how the High Court entertained the arguments. It should not have done it until the speaker had taken his decision, and then the aggrieved party should have come to the court only to challenge the speaker's decision. Before his decision, they are not. If the court accepts the case, it is something in disregard to the law framed by the apex court. This is what it says. Para 21A has been used by speakers for years. They've been using it for years for disqualifying candidates who defect, who leave the party by themselves and do not follow the provisions of anti-defection law. And many such disqualification orders have been upheld by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has upholding an order means they issuing an order, including as recently as November 2019 in a Karnataka case. So they have done recently as well, admitting a matter without explaining how the law laid down by the Supreme Court does not bind a High Court, raises grave question. Now this is something which is very serious. Grave question of judicial propriety. This refers to, if there is a law framed by the Supreme Court, the High Court, the Civil Court, they have to follow it. And this is judicial propriety. However, even as the political crisis plays out on the lawns of Raj Bhavan, the top court itself appears to be raising the question whether dissent within a party can attract disqualification proceedings. So this is one of the questions, whether a dissent is not leaving the membership. I do not agree with the is not that I am leaving the party. So this is another aspect of it. Whether the circumstances, whatever the circumstances, the Supreme Court should not condone improper and premature judicial intervention. So, whether there was a dissent or there was a something like leaving the membership has nothing to do, but the High Court has entertained the issue prematurely. Prematurely means has attempted to to hear the case even before finalization of the case by the speaker. So it is premature and it is not proper as well. This is an important issue. So that's all for this passage. Now let us make a summary. Summary is that there is a judicial indiscipline. What is the judicial indiscipline? And the subtopic says that Rajasthan High Court took up the matter of Mr. Pilot, and that was judicial indiscipline. Now there was a turbulence, there was some disturbance. The pilot took up some members and tried to form its team. Whether he was willing to leave the Congress party to which he belongs is not disclosed, but then the speaker, the other part of Congress team in Rajasthan, headed by Mr. Gehlot, took up the issue, and the speaker issued show cause notices under anti-defection law. This is one thing. The High Court did not look into its judicial limits and went on to hear the issue, and this is something which is grave, which is serious, because the issue covered what is written in 10th schedule of the constitution as well, and that also gets violated by the High Court if it takes up the matter before getting it finalized by the speaker. Now there are some cases cited over here which says that courts cannot intervene until a speaker gives his judgment, and on this line so many memberships have been decided and destroyed. Memberships have been lost by different persons. The law is very simple, but then there is no provision that High Court should intervene such cases until the speaker has finalized it. This is a summary in 2-3 sentences. Now, with this I close and request you to join, with the help of this link, join the Telegram channel for PDF and other papers. And of course, a request to like and subscribe the YouTube channel as well. Thank you.